Welcome to this official 2026 Mesobook guide on how to navigate the complex world of asbestos compensation without ever having to step foot in a courtroom. Many families facing a diagnosis of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer are hesitant to seek legal help because they fear a long and stressful trial process. However, in 2026, the reality is that the vast majority of asbestos claims are resolved through administrative trust funds or out-of-court settlements. This video will break down the exact steps you need to take to secure your family's financial future while focusing entirely on your health and recovery. First, let us talk about the most common way to get paid without a trial, which is through asbestos bankruptcy trust funds. Over the last several decades, many of the companies that manufactured and sold asbestos products filed for bankruptcy to protect themselves from lawsuits. As part of this process, the courts forced these companies to set aside billions of dollars in specialized trusts to compensate future victims. As of 2026, there is still over $30 billion available in these trust funds specifically for people like you, because these companies have already admitted their liability, and the funds have already been established. There is no need for a trial to prove their guilt. Instead, your attorney simply files a claim with the trust proving that you have an asbestos-related diagnosis and that you were exposed to that specific company's products. In 2026, the average total payout from these trust funds for a mesothelioma patient is between $300,000 and $400,000, and many families are eligible to file claims with multiple trusts simultaneously, which can significantly increase the total award. The process is streamlined and efficient, with most families beginning to receive their first payments in as little as 90 days from the date of filing. This provides immediate financial relief that can be used for medical co-pays and travel expenses and home care services. Now let us look at the second path to compensation, which is the out-of-court settlement. Even if a company has not filed for bankruptcy and a lawsuit is filed against them, the likelihood of going to trial is extremely low. In fact, over 95% of mesothelioma lawsuits in 2026 end in a settlement before a trial date is ever set. A settlement is a negotiated agreement between your legal team and the asbestos company's lawyers, where they agree to pay you a specific amount of money in exchange for dropping the case. These settlements are often much higher than trust fund payouts, with the average 2026 settlement ranging from $1 million to $1.4 million. Your attorney handles all the negotiations and the depositions and the paperwork, so your involvement is minimal. For many patients, the only part of the process they participate in is a brief interview conducted from the comfort of their own home. This ensures that you are not burdened by the legal system during a time when your energy should be spent with your loved ones. To begin this process in 2026, you must first gather your medical records and your work history documents. A specialized asbestos law firm will have massive databases that can link your employment at a specific shipyard, factory, or construction site to the asbestos products that were used there decades ago. They can even help veterans identify asbestos exposure that occurred on naval ships or in military barracks. Once the evidence is gathered, your lawyer will determine which trusts and companies are responsible for your illness and file the necessary claims. It is also important to remember that for veterans, there are additional options, such as the disability benefits, which can provide over $4,000 per month in tax-free compensation in addition to your legal claims. We also want to address the concerns of families who have lost a loved one before a claim could be filed. In 2026, you can still file a wrongful death claim to recover these funds for the estate and provide for the surviving spouse and children. The rules for these claims are similar, and the goal remains the same, which is to hold these negligent corporations accountable without causing more stress for the family. As we move further into 2026, the technology used to process these claims has improved, making the timeline from filing to payment shorter than ever before. You should never have to pay any money upfront to start this process as top-tier asbestos attorneys, or on a contingency fee basis, meaning they only get paid a percentage of the money they recover for you. If they do not win, you owe them nothing. This level of protection is why so many families are choosing to pursue their claims now rather than waiting. Our guide provides a checklist of the documents you should start organizing today, including pathology reports and Social Security work history printouts and military discharge papers. By taking these simple steps, you are opening the door to a level of financial security that can cover the best medical treatments available, including clinical trials and specialized surgeries. Thank you for watching this 2026 update from Mesothelioma, and we encourage you to use the links in our description to find a qualified legal partner who can help you file your claim without the need for a court trial. For many families in 2026, a diagnosis of mesothelioma, or asbestos-related lung cancer, is a heavy burden, but the path to financial recovery does not have to be a source of additional stress. Today, we are focusing on how to file a successful claim without ever seeing the inside of a courtroom. The modern legal system for asbestos is designed with the patient in mind, prioritizing speed and is over lengthy litigation. If you are worried about the exhaustion of a trial, you should know that 95% of asbestos cases are resolved through administrative trust funds or out-of-court settlements. This 2026 update will show you exactly how to secure life-changing compensation from the comfort of your own home. The most common way to avoid a trial is by filing claims against the $30 billion held in asbestos bankruptcy trust funds. These funds were created specifically for families who cannot sue a company because that company has already declared bankruptcy, because these trusts are already funded and the rules for payout are pre-established. There is no trial and no judge and no jury involved. You simply provide medical proof of your diagnosis and evidence that you worked with or near a specific company's asbestos products. In 2026, most trusts offer what is called an expedited review, which is the fastest way to get paid. Under an expedited review, the trust pays a fixed amount to everyone who meets the criteria, allowing for a rapid turnaround, often in as little as 90 days. For those who choose an individual review, the process takes slightly longer, but can result in a higher payout based on unique circumstances like age and dependence and severity of illness. The average mesothelioma victim in 2026 is eligible to file claims with multiple trusts, often resulting in total payouts between $300,000 and $400,000, with some families accessing $750,000 or more without a single day in court. Even if your claim is against a company that is still in business and a lawsuit is filed, the process in 2026 is built to settle early. Defense attorneys for asbestos companies know that the evidence against them is overwhelming, and they would much rather pay a fair settlement than risk a massive verdict in front of a jury. A settlement is a guaranteed victory for your family, and in 2026, the average out-of-court settlement for mesothelioma is between $1 million and $1.4 million. Your participation in this process is minimal and often consists of a single video deposition from your living room, where you simply recount your work history. Your lawyers do all the heavy lifting of subpoenaing records and negotiating with insurance companies while you focus on your treatment. Many of our viewers ask if asbestos lung cancer is treated differently than mesothelioma in the legal system, and the answer is that the process is nearly identical. While the payout amounts for lung cancer might vary based on smoking history, a person who can prove asbestos exposure at a job site is still entitled to significant trust fund and settlement money.